Right, this is a quick foray into Agatha Christie. I do enjoy Agatha Christie. I've read quite a few of them. There's a lot of them, so you sort of lose track after a while. The one I've just finished now is one that I acquired in a recent secondhand bookshop end closing down sale. It's Dumb Witness. It's got rather unique cover art compared to a lot of Agatha Christie's. At least I think it looks a bit different. And it was published in HarperCollins Publisher in 1958. That seems a bit old for. It's in pretty good condition. Anyway, so I don't remember ever having read this one before, but with Agatha Christie it's hard to tell because she has a formula and she follows it. I don't think I've read this one before. Agatha Christie is kind of like a warm, cuddly blanket on a cold night, and it's easy on the brain. You don't have to think about it too much. You just go on for the ride. If you like guessing the whodunit, you do that. I don't even bother. I just wait for the big reveal. And this, in most ways, is a very classic Dame Agatha novel. You've got your country estate, check. Weekend party, check. Wealthy spinster, many grasping relatives, check. You've got a little country village, check. What you do have in this one that you don't have in many of them is the dog. The dog, Bob, is a wonderful character. And when Hercule Poirot, probably mispronouncing that, and his faithful sidekick come along, you get a little narrative of what Bob the dog is thinking. That's a lot of fun. So, as usual, Poirot is basically a vehicle to meet and interview all the different characters, investigate them, learn about the town, that sort of thing. I feel this novel actually feels quite contemporary, and it hasn't dated as badly as some Agatha Christie's can. It is first published in 1934, 1937? One of those, I think. And in some ways it has dated, but I feel that the overall feel of the conversation, the individuals, the descriptions of the individuals, all of that seems quite contemporary. A couple of the ways in which it has dated, my favourite in the first one was on page 27, when Emily Arundal, her companion, comes into the drawing room after all the visitors have left, and she makes some observation about how the maid's going to have to open all the windows to air out the smell. And at first I'm thinking, what smell is she talking about? And then Emily says that allowing smoking in the drawing room is a concession to modernity. Now the wheel has certainly come full turn in that one. It's like when this was written, old-fashioned people wouldn't allow smoking in the drawing room, but all the new generation did. And now if you so much as smoke on the outdoor pavement, you're a pariah. So that really made me laugh, the old-fashioned turnaround. Chapter 18 is a little bit out as well. I'm sure any Agatha Christie reader is aware that there was an early book called 10 Little Bleep, 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 because I don't want YouTube to edit me out. Well, she uses the N-word again here. The chapter is titled A Bleep in the Woodpile and continues to use the N-word repeatedly in making metaphors. I hope I've been generic enough that Goodreads won't censor me, but specific enough that most people, at least most people my generation, will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, no comment about that. On page 49 we have another beauty when the doctor comes and describes Emily's death as being unsurprising, as she had well and truly passed her 70 years, which was the expected lifestyle. In this day and age, to expect a 70-year-old to drop dead, that's not happening. They're barely allowed to retire before they're 65. So, yeah, all these anachronisms are really, really entertaining. I found them entertaining. The plot was fun, the characters were nice, none of that was particularly unexpected, but the overall contemporary feel of the novel with the anachronisms made it really interesting. So down below I've got a link to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia claims that this is the last Poirot to feature Hastings as narrator. at least until the last of the Poirots. Oh, here we go. Yes, it was published in 1937, so that makes it 86 years old. It's aged better than many. When it came out, it wasn't always well received. A lot of people didn't like it and they criticised various things about it. My main criticism about it, however, didn't appear in any that I saw, and that is that the big reveal at the end. It's like all this style of Agatha Christie, especially the ones that happened on estates out in the countries. There's always a big reveal. Everyone is gathered in the room while Hercule Poirot talks about how he found everything out and is so clever. In hindsight, when I say it that way, you can kind of understand how Agatha Christie thought he was insufferable, can't you? Anyway, so normally there's an excuse for them all being there. The police have told them to be there, or they've been bribed, blackmailed, shamed, however. But in this particular book, no explanation for them all being there. Is all of a sudden they're all back in the country in Emily Arundal's old estate. And I see no good reason for them to be there, and I see 2 or 3 very good reasons for a couple of them not to be there. In fact, 2 of them probably should be on their way to Australia by now. So I feel that needed a bit more. But other than that, it was a fun book. One of the best things being Hastings and Bob the dog having their little conversations. I recommend it if you like Agatha Christie's.